Hello, everybody. This is Skip Alzheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show, where we watch old 16mm films. And that was more of the world tour by some rich guy in 1928. At that point, you had to take a ship everywhere. And So there's a lot of interesting home movie footage that was shot from that time period, and I've transferred it for other entities. There's an anthropological archive in Philadelphia, and is it UPenn? I think that's what it is. Anyways, they had someone who was a rich person who, back in the day, take vacation for 2 months, 3 months, and that would do these long travels and actually documented a lot of really interesting cultural things that were happening at the time. Regrettably, all the captions are pretty insulting. So you can visually see the stuff, but yeah, captions for films from this time period are not very sympathetic to other cultures. But today, let's see, we got so much stuff. I went ahead because yesterday we showed that indoctrination and orientation for new workmen. And I was like, man, we haven't done a lot of safety films. So I have some safety films. I have a film from my collection, but then I also found a bunch of new ones on that I've been working with the Prelinger archive. So we're going to watch a lot of stuff. And I feel like, what is this first one? Safety is always. Is this the one? If it's the all the titles have the word safety in them, so that's where I'm confused. This one, if it's for General Tire, made by Wilding, listen to the narrator. And if this is not that film, then I will say it again for the next film that I show. All right. This is Safety is Always. Enjoy.
As telephone employees, we can point with pride to our successful achievements in safety, both on and off the job. This National Safety Council Award, made out to the telephone company, didn't just happen, not without planning and conscientious effort. Our company once was typical of any business. We had our share of accidents, some serious, some not too serious. We had accidents and thought that was to be expected. But we were able to prove that line of reasoning wrong when we play it safe. These attractive legs are well heeled, not too high. They afford her firm footage, perfect for work or play. These Chicago area traffic girls know the safe way on stairs. They concentrate on what they're doing and utilize the handrails just in case. State Area Accounting's Joanne Wands is taking no chances on a collision with someone or something beyond the door. Going back on the job calls for putting out cigarettes, putting them out for keeps, in receptacles for that purpose only. Carolyn Mitchell of State Area Engineering knows that chairs have a way of rolling out from under, but not when she holds tight. And those desk drawers, a place for everything and everything in its place. Pointed objects are out of harm's way, and so are fingers when desk and cabinet drawers are closed. Time for her release. Lillian Malik of State Area Traffic gets an assist from her supervisor. Before taking a step, the cord of her headset is taken in hand and shortened. There will be no tripping with this safety precaution. Her observing eyes and leisurely pace enable Pat Moran of Chicago Commercial to spot paper clips and rubber bands on the floor, even lead from a pencil, before Roseanne Tully trips over them. She's making certain someone else won't find them by mistake. Accidents still will happen. And when they do, it's the smart girl who gets immediate first aid. A simple scratch, when unattended, can lead to dangerous infection. We can point with pride to our safety record. At the end of our working day, we take safety home with us. For safety is always. Did you know more lost time accidents occur off the job than on? 50 times more. These Decatur girls cross only at corners and wait for the green light before continuing on their way. Entering a car, they use the doors away from traffic. Driving requires 100% attention. So, even though fashions may invite attention away, a good driver resists the temptation, like this smart woman is doing. Pay attention to driving. That's what we do. We know that city traffic calls for extra attention to speed and caution. And that 45 miles per hour means just that or less, depending on weather and road conditions. Safety isn't something we can buy. Safety is something to strive for every day of our lives. Safety is no accident. Be it ever so humble, there's no more dangerous place than home. Marge Nelson of Chicago area plants needn't worry about tripping over curling edges of a carpet or slipping on a casual throw rug. She anchors carpeting firmly to the floor by means of padding. We have found that by putting dangerous tools away after we've used them, out of the reach of children, we are able to remove the cause of many of our accidents. The same holds true for poisons, too. The top shelf is usually the best, out of the way of curious children. Some of us have even figured out special safety precautions for ourselves, so we won't take poison by mistake. Everyone's enjoying this New Year's celebration. Everyone, that is, except this girl. Can't even toot her own horn. It makes little difference how she got this way. Carelessness, probably. She won't enjoy this evening one bit. This girl has lost an opportunity, the opportunity to travel. Wish you were here. She's no longer independent or able to help those who depend on her. Now she must pay someone else to do her work about the house.
We of IBT can point with pride to our record of safety. It's no accident. We've been working at it. Our IBT women, you, have made it possible by making marked safety improvements year after year. We still have accidents, some serious, some not so serious. But our safety record proves accidents can be eliminated.
And we're on our way to another safety record, a record better than ever before, if we will work for it, all of us, all the time, on and off the job. It's important and worth the time and effort.
Yes, safety is a long list of do's and don'ts to be followed at home or on the job. But even more important, safety is always.
So that was not General Tire. That was AT&T, basically creating safety films. It looks like mostly for their operators. They had a lot of female operators, and so I'm sure that sick time, downtime. I don't know if they actually had insurance, but just having trained operators who couldn't come in because somebody in their family broke a leg, like they broke a leg, or they, hurt themselves in the kitchen, or whatever they were doing. I'm sure that this was like, oh, we have to work on absenteeism, and this is one way to do it. All right, this next film is not about General Tire. It's about bicycling, and it's interesting to kind of look at the history of bicycle safety films. This one is definitely pre-World War II. You can just tell by the pacing of it. But and it's aimed towards kids. So I think in a way this is interesting because a lot of educational films were made after World War II in trying to educate kids about whatever, because that was the heyday. But the fact that this is before is telling that it must have been a serious problem for wherever or to whoever made this film. And so this is Bicycling with Complete Safety. Enjoy.
The eyes of the nation are focused on safety. Safety of human lives in the metropolitan areas, at work, at play, in schools and on the highways. Above all, safety for the lives of the thousands who will be the men and women of tomorrow. Leaving their homes for school and play, we want them to return again without one single tragedy among their number, without death due to traffic. But this will not be the gift of Providence. Providence is not always so kind. It will be the result of diligent work on the part of civic authorities in cooperation with a younger generation working for safety. The police officer is a real friend of every boy and girl. Let's work with him.
Now, don't look upon me as a police officer. It just happens to be my work to encourage carefulness. I'm one of all your parents. When you go out on the street, we want you to come back to us. Boys and girls, we don't want you to be hurt. We grown-ups are careless. Yes. We're all careless, aren't we? And so we all have a lot of work to do. Now, we must tell everybody to be careful. Your activities are many. School, play, and work. You come and go on these busy streets. But we can't begin to talk about all the things we should do. There's one subject that worries us a lot. That is bicycling. Bicycle riding, real healthy sport. Bicycles give us pleasure, exercise, take us to school, and often help us earn money. I want to encourage every boy and girl to ride. It helps to grow into strong, healthy men and women. But riding a bicycle can be the most dangerous thing we do. I was driving down the street one day, and I saw Willie Jones with a nice big box of popcorn. Willie could ride without even touching his handlebars. But just couldn't resist that last fight.
You think you'll be all right, Jock?
Oh, yes, he'll be all right, but he'll probably be in here for several weeks.
I don't know how we'll pay for it unless we use a Christmas savings.
Willie knows what that means.
Wouldn't it have been better if Willie had done it this way? Bobby keeps his eyes on all the corners and side roads. He keeps his hands on the handlebars because when he goes home, he and father and mother and little sister will keep right on living. You bet they will. And when Bobby makes the right-hand turn, he does it that way. Then that fellow behind has got to watch out for him. Bobby is riding safely. Those street crossing signs are made for bicycle riders just the same as for automobiles. Bobby observes them carefully. See there? That motorist didn't stop. It's his fault. You bet it is. And it's a good thing Bobby stopped, isn't it? Bobby has good brakes, too. He knows that he can stop when he has to. You'll never catch Bobby doing this. Boy, that's hard on bicycle. This boy didn't save any time either. It's better to take it easy. You'll get there quicker. Uh-oh, look at that. You simply must not ride the sidewalk. This officer is only doing his duty. The sidewalk is not meant to ride on. The boy feels guilty, all right. Isn't that so, fella? The officers know Bobby, too, but it's a different kind of treating he gets. Friends like these are worth having any old day. They'll do you a favor every time. Dangerous business, horseplay. Motorists are careless, fellas. They'll hit you. Starting in and out like this should be done in the park or anywhere except in the street. When you were young, you were taught not to do that. Well, this is just as bad or worse, because you're going so fast that the motorist just doesn't know which way to turn. Use your horn to let people know you're coming. They appreciate being warned. They'll watch out for you. A good bicycle horn or horn and lights combined, such as this, is worth a lot to you. If you have one, see sure it works. And if you don't have one, well, we'll bet that Dad'll be glad to help you get it. He'll be proud of you for even thinking of it. Lights especially are important. It's a great sport to ride at night when you're safe. Lights should be on both ends, front and back. Why, the police will stop an automobile that doesn't have lights. As big a thing as a car. Why shouldn't they insist on bicycle lights, too? The best protection you can get. Inspect your equipment, fellows. Keep it in good condition. A good bicycle is something to be proud of. When it's a wreck, well, you just get careless with it. But when it's good, you're going to be more careful. You see? Poor brakes. And look at that broken pedal. That's dangerous. These boys are cooperating with their best friends, the officers of the police department. Their license numbers are proudly exhibited, and every frame is stamped like this for police protection. It's a drive, fellows, a big drive for safety. These boys are getting their instructions. They're listening carefully. They'll all be here tomorrow and all the rest of the tomorrow. These these officers try to teach the boys how to ride safely. Stay away from that left curve. Signal your turn. Then you'll be safe. And keep your eye on the other fellow. He may be dangerous. It's best to do as the officer says, and then he'll protect you by teaching you things like this. Many bicycle riders have achieved their fine records in this way. Do it this way, fellas. Go down the street with a feeling that you know the traffic rules of your city. And always be careful. And 20 years from now, you'll still come home to Dad and Mother. They'll still be glad to see you. You'll be the man they want you to be. And fellas, listen. Someday you'll have a boy of your own, and you want him to always be careful.
I don't know if it showed it in the title, but this film was made in 1938. So I was right. It definitely was before World War II, and the pacing is just so it's almost like a Little Rascals, in that just all that empty space where you can hear the background film noise, and the dialogue is so sparse and so weird. Like the end of the, in 20 years you'll come home to see your family and they'll be happy that you're a man, and then when you have a boy then you can pass on the safety to them. It's very odd when you compare it to other bike safety films. Even the oddest bike safety films, they tend to they just use different techniques to appeal to kids, to get them to respond. And the whole thing at the beginning where the kid makes the accident and then he's in the hospital, and they're like, well, the parents are like, well, we don't know how to pay for it. We're going to have to dip into our savings. It's like, will a kid respond to that? Like, I don't know. Anyhow, what are we watching? There's so many things we can watch here. Let's watch For Safety's Sake. And this one might be the General Tire one, that has a narrator that I don't think he's credited, but see if you can recognize his voice. Enjoy.
Your town, USA. Joe Worker, that's the name for a lot of us these days. About 50 million, roughly speaking. 50 million who think alike on one main idea. And that is more materials than ever before, faster than ever before, for a job that's bigger than we've ever tackled before. We have a lot of high-speed tools to help us do that job. Portable power tools, for example, that come in 100 shapes for 1,000 uses. Grinders that smooth and clean. Electric drills, light, compact, and easy to use. Nut runners, many times faster than a hand wrench. Screwdrivers that do the work of 7 hand drivers. Electric saws, 10 times faster than hand saws. chippers that clean metal to fighting trim in the space of seconds. Rivet guns, the machine guns of industry. These are the tools that are helping America solve the biggest production problem in all its history in the course of his everyday job. But because they are possessed of such power, Joe knows there are certain things he must do for safety's sake. He wears goggles to protect his eyes from flying particles. He knows all about that ounce of prevention being worth that pound of cure. That is, he thought he did until one day Joe answers a rush call. This clamp would be missing just when he got a rush job. Oh, well, it won't do any harm just this once, he thinks, and he'll have a new clamp put on later.
Hello, Charlie.
How do you feel?
Not too bad, I guess.
That was quite a jolt you took, wasn't it?
Yes, I'm lucky to be here.
Joe Worker, shake hands with Bill Martin and Ray Thompson.
Oh, I'm glad to know you, Bill.
I'm pleased to know you.
How are you, Ray?
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Have a seat, Joe.
Oh, thanks, Charlie.
The boys are new here, and I was just telling them a little about the right way to handle power tools. Hey, while you're here, maybe you'd give them a few pointers.
Oh, I rather doubt that, Charlie. You see, I thought I was up on all these pointers, and look what I got.
And that's just what I was telling them when you came in. You see, Lady Luck won't ride on your shoulder all the time. Every once in a while, somebody forgets, and something goes wrong, and somebody gets hurt.
That's right, too.
Portable tools save us all a lot of work, help us to get the stuff out quicker. But they are power tools, and that precautions. Now take the electric drill, like the one you were using, Joe. Because they're the most widely used, they cause the most accidents. The first rule in using them is, always wear goggles. When the drill revolves, there are slivers and hot chips coming at you fast enough to put out your eye. Just two hardened glass lenses. But they're enough to keep you from tapping a sidewalk with a white cane for the rest of your life. But flying chips aren't the only hazard. Putting your hand near the drill bit is another. And you can't go back to the tool crib for an extra finger. If you must get your hand down close to the point, see that your drill is equipped with a protective sleeve. Then keep your hand on the protective sleeve, not on the bit. When working with movable parts or stock, there's another must to remember. Keep your work clamped securely at all times. If you don't heed this simple precaution, the first thing you know, something slips. And there you are in the first aid room with a hand that's going to lay you up for a while.
That's right, Charlie. And the bit can whip around and trouble, too.
Now, whipping is a real hazard, and yet it's simple enough to prevent. Be sure that the bit is straight and that it's securely fastened in the chuck. Then, when you start drilling, don't force it. It's clear enough on paper. Here, let me show you. Feed the drill into the work evenly, and it's bound to do the job right. But, on the other hand, if you start the bit in crooked, at an angle, and then try to correct it while the bit is cutting into the work, one of two things may happen. The bit may break, and that means time and equipment lost. Or the drill may begin whipping out of control. And when that happens, watch out. Joe, you remember what happened to Harry Ferguson. He was up drilling a steel beam and made the mistake of forcing his drill. It would have killed an ordinary man. He's been 4 months in a plaster cast, and he'll be laid up for 4 more. You see, men, accidents like that don't have to happen. They can be prevented if the drill is handled with a few necessary precautions.
You can't just pick them up and run them. And what you say about drills goes for a lot of other power tools.
You're very right, Joe. Take a grinder, for example. The first rule is grip it firmly, and you'll save a lot of wear and tear on yourself and the wheel. Remember, that wheel turns at terrific speed, maybe 6,000 times a minute, and that means caution. A straight wheel is for grinding only with its outer edge, never with the side. Keep that wheel away from your hands, legs, or other parts of the body, and see that eyes are protected from flying particles. Only a saucer-shaped wheel, like this one, is built to stand the strain of side pressure, and it's the only kind you should use for work like this. Remember, the right wheel for each job, and you'll eliminate one of the main causes of grinder accidents. There's an art to mounting a wheel, too. Use flanges of the correct size and see that they are properly tightened down. Never run a wheel faster than its rated speed, as shown by the code marking on the label. These are important points in handling a grinder. When you've finished a job, put the grinder away in a safe place, because if something strikes it, it may crack the wheel. Here, take a look at this. Yes. Maybe that crack would be so tiny you'd never notice it. But the next time that wheel starts spinning, it may break and fly 40 ways. You see, it's the same with grinders as it is with drills. You've got to exercise skill and common sense.
That's easy to understand, Mr. Adams.
It's the same with all power tools. Electric saws, for instance, are usually equipped with a protective guard to keep hands away from the cutting edge. But you've still got to remember to keep away from the line of the cut. Don't let anything strike it. And don't force it into the work. Like most electric tools, this saw has a trigger-type switch. While you're pressing it, the power is on. Release it, and the power shuts off. Remember, too, that the saw still spins after you shut it off, so don't drop it down against your leg. Don't make the mistake of holding the work in your hand. Secure all movable pieces. You'll need both hands for the saw, so don't lose one of them in the saw. With electric power tools, in addition to operating hazards, there's the ever-present danger of shock. Which brings us up to your accident, Joe. What was the trouble?
Bonehead trouble, Charlie. I thought to myself, just this once I can get by without using a ground clamp. I'm lucky to be here.
Yes, you are lucky, Joe. The records show that a lot of people are killed just that way. Somehow, in spite of all the precautions you take, the shell of the tool becomes energized. The worker touches some grounded object and socko.
Mr. Adams, what can a fella do about it?
You've got to ground the tool. And how to do that? Well, Joe was using a 3-wire cord. That third wire is fastened to the frame of the tool to carry off any dangerous currents. But it must be fastened by a clamp to the nearest conductor to the ground. And it must be fastened before the cord is plugged in. When that clamp is in place, the tool is electrically safe. Some plants are equipped with 3-prong outlets and matching plugs. Here, the ground is automatic. Just plug it in, and there you are. A portable power tool may be damaged by neglect or rough handling. A good mechanic knows this and treats it as he would any other delicate mechanism. When he is finished using it, he rolls up the cord and puts it away carefully. Carry a tool by its handle, never by its cord. That might fray the connection. If a cord becomes damaged, it should be repaired at once. But don't you be a Mr. Fix-It. Never do a patch-up job yourself. Turn it into the department that's responsible for repairs. You don't take chances with electricity if you're smart. These are the 10 commandments from the National Safety Council for handling portable electric tools. First, keep tools in good condition, cleaned, oiled, and repaired. Second, use an extra wire to ground the tool casing if one has not been built in. Third, use only approved and inspected extension cord. Fourth, always examine both cord and connections carefully. Fifth, never hang an extension cord over sharp edges or allow it to become kinked or leave it where a truck may run over it. Sixth, protect the cord against contact with oil, hot surfaces, and chemicals. Seventh, don't patch cord with tape shorten the cord, or get a new one. 8. Always wear goggles. 9. Do not use a portable electric tool in the presence of flammable vapors or gases. And 10, store extension cord in a clean, dry place where it can lie loosely coiled. And I might tack on an 11th for you, Joel. Always be sure the tool is grounded before you plug it in.
Don't you worry about me, Charlie. From now on, I'm going to be a groundhog.
Good. Well, men, that gives you an idea of some of the safe practices you must use when handling portable power tools. Your foreman will give you more detailed instructions. I'll be seeing you again, and I hope you'll be happy with us.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. This is really giving us a good start.
Charlie, do you mind if I add a point to what you've just said to these boys?
Of course not, Joel. Go right ahead.
Boys, the company's doing everything possible to prevent accidents in the plant. But it's up to every one of us to look after our own safety. I'm not the first who's found that it doesn't pay to take that single chance. So when we're using portable power tools, we must handle them skillfully and carefully for safety's sake.
That's pretty great. But it was not the General Tire film. Finally, I've run out of options. Here is the General Tire film. And yes, it does feature somebody whose voice you should be able to recognize. Oh, also, thank you so much, Richard, and Jim, for your donations. That is super useful because we are using that money not for coffee, not for delicious cool beverages, but to move stuff back into our archive. And so that's what we have been working on. It is gross outside. It is hot outside. But we have been, I have 2 new interns that I've been using. We've been, filling up a car, taking it, filling up a shelf, taking it, all of that. We have 45 shelves, I think, that we're going to put into the new film vault space. And right now, I think I've set up 6 shelves, but they're not full of films yet. But we did put in like 1 full size already. So work is being made. I've made a call to say like, oh, if you want to help move films, let's do it. But logistically, it's been very hard to set aside time so I can take advantage of everybody being there at the same time. So I'm still kind of doing little things here and there. But anyways, General Tire, finally, enjoy.
With the millions of cars crowding our highways today, where does safety start? According to the best answers to date, there are 2 starting points. First, the driver. And here is how that problem is being attacked. Every year, 1.5 million boys and girls graduate from the high schools of this country. If all those were trained how to drive a car properly, that would mean 1.5 million new expert, careful drivers fed into our traffic problem each year. From one school in 1933, the idea has already spread to half the high schools of the country and to every state in the Union. Some of them provide elaborate facilities, like this Illinois school. This is all good, but most schools simply go out to some little used, quiet street selected by the police department, and there, to the 3 R's, are added the 3 S's of starting, steering, and stopping. Here is a typical high school class doing road training under the direction of their instructor. Present also is a sergeant of police, and as special guest observer, the man who originated the whole school training plan some 15 years ago, Professor Amos E. Neihart, head of the Institute of Public Safety and American Automobile Association consultant on road training. The instructor asks Professor Neihart to explain the special stopping tests the students are about to take.
From the standpoint of safety, the most important thing about driving a car is ability to stop. There are two distinct reactions to be measured in this test: human or mental reaction and mechanical reaction. From the time you see the emergency to the time you slam your foot on the brake, that is your human reaction, the distance your car will travel while you are coordinating eyes, mind, and muscles. Then the mechanical reaction is the distance it takes the tires to stop the car. This detonator will shoot 3 times, 3 cartridges of sulfur. The first one, you won't know when to expect it, but that's the signal of an emergency. The second one comes when you put your foot on the brake. The third, when your car comes to a stop. All right, let's try it. How about you leading off? Now here is the human reaction distance between the first 2 points, from here to here. That will vary according to the driver. The more expert the driver, the shorter the distance. That's why we start training in high school. Now we come to the mechanical reaction. This much longer distance here. Regardless of how quick or expert you are at applying the brakes here, you are completely dependent on the mechanical part of your car to stop. You probably wouldn't call 30 miles an hour very fast driving, would you?
No.
Well, at 30 miles an hour, if you suddenly saw somebody step out in front of you, say 6 car lengths ahead, do you think you could stop in time? No, you couldn't have stopped in time. Not according to the test we just made, which should give you a new appreciation of the importance of your tires. You see, it's the brakes that stop your wheels, but it's the tires that stop your car.
Thank you, Professor Neihart, and how right you are. Let's watch as the professor clinches the demonstration. To make it really tough, they wet down the street. Because it is important not only to be able to stop quickly, but to stop in a straight line, wet or dry. Skidding, you know, accounts for more accidents than all other causes put together. 100 times as many as blowouts. So they make the test again. With the same car on ordinary tires. Tires supposed not to skid.
Now this line will represent that stop.
Let me interrupt long enough to point out why those tires skid. Most conventional tread designs pinch together when brakes are applied, changing to a smooth surface, a slippery surface. In other words, when is the ordinary non-skid not a non-skid? The answer is when the brakes are on, when you need it most.
Now we'll make the run again at the same speed with the second car, but this one equipped with different tires. Here she comes. Purposely, I asked one of the smaller girls to take the wheel to show that a tiny foot can stop a car on these tires as easily as a number 10. Notice how it stops, even on wet pavement, many feet sooner, in a straight line. never a hint of a skid.
The answer, as we said, is in the tires. In General's new top-quality squeegee tire, called squeegee because of the unusual, exclusive action traction when called upon to stop. Its patented high, flexible tread ribs roll smoothly straight ahead. But the moment the brake is applied, the wrinkle action wipes a clean, dry track for a quick, straight stop. Here you see a tight close-up of a General tire pushing the water out of the way, wiping a dry track on the pavement. No other tire can do that, because no other tire has action traction. Now let's compare tires one time more. At today's higher highway speed, a test driver is behind the wheel. The pavement is wet, slick, and slippery. Here comes the car on the ordinary tires. Watch it now. Anything can happen. Now for car number 2, on the new improved General squeegee tires. Same kind of car, same speed, same driver, same wet, slick, slippery road surface. The signal is given, the brakes slam on, and you see how General's exclusive action traction brings the car to a quick, smooth, safe, straight line stop. Quicker stopping is a lifesaver at high speed, but General's quick, straight line stopping is a money saver in traffic situations you meet every day. For instance, this refusal to slip sideways means a lot when you're driving that narrow lane with parked cars on one side and onrushing traffic on the other. Look out, there's a car pulling out. Slam on the brakes. A couple of wrinkled fenders. Well, it might have been worse. We might have slid the other way into the path of the traffic on the left. A little side slip either way can, in one instant, cost you far more than the small additional price of General tire safety and the peace of mind that goes with it. What a difference. The same situation when you're riding on those new Generals. The car suddenly pulls out in your path. You step on the brake, your car comes to a sure, safe, straight in line stop. The other car pulls ahead, and you resume your carefree way. The new General is a stronger tire, and a tire with new stability, due to the new balanced construction. The new General squeegee has been radically changed to match the requirements of the sensitive front ends on today's new cars. What does this mean to you? It means that your tires will track, that they will follow each other in line, without side slip on the curves, wet or dry. Without this greater stability of the new improved General squeegee, there's no telling where a car may end up. We told you the new General is a stronger tire. Again, we back up the statement with proof. We are about to test the strength of two tires. One, a well-known make we bought just this morning. The other, a new General squeegee of the same size, taken from stock. The air is turned into each tire at the same time. The needles of the pressure gauges begin to turn together. 100 pounds, 120, 140, 160, 175. There goes the ordinary tire at 180 pounds. But watch the new General squeegee. 200, 220, 240, 250 pounds. The top of the dial and the General squeegee is still intact. The strongest tire made. And what does that mean to you? Suppose you were rolling along a highway at a pretty good clip, when suddenly, on a curve or the crest of a hill, boy, that was quick work. It would have been the other fellow's fault if you'd crashed. But it's a lot more satisfying to know that your tires have that extra strength to take the bumps when they have to. That extra factor of safety.
Number 2 should come by any minute now. Well over 20,000 miles.
Yeah, I've seen some big mileage records made on squeegee in the past, but never anything like this. This new tire is absolutely amazing.
Yes, every hour of every day, General test cars and trucks are piling up mileage on hot desert roads, burning up the roads, but never the tires. at faster speeds than you will ever maintain. They slam into curves at unbelievable speeds, hold 70 for 150 consecutive miles, and grind to quick stops from 80 per. Heat and abrasion go hand in hand with wear. Over hard, gritty roads, in temperatures up to 120 degrees and over, we prove that General Tire construction licks heat and gives more mileage and eliminates the blowouts resulting from hot running in ordinary tires. Yes, the new General Squeegee is really a new tire, a new, softer ride, safer, longer mileage, quieter running, cooler running, easier steering and parking, smarter styling, and the always real satisfaction of knowing you own the best. Truly a new and greatly improved version of the best tire ever made better still.
May I come back for one word more to you who are seeing this picture?
Of course, Professor Neihart.
I'm interested in high school drivers because I believe that's where safety starts. I'm also interested in tires because safety starts there too. You, let's say, have reached that point in life where you probably don't slam a car around the way you once did. You're more interested in the quieter, softer, cushioned ride, easier steering and parking, smarter styling. But what would happen to you if your son or daughter had the car out and you got word they couldn't stop in time?
Just this thought in closing. The little it costs to train our young people to be good drivers in the beginning is as nothing compared to what it saves in accidents and lives. And the little difference it costs to change over to General Squeegee tires for your sake and the sake of your family is likewise as nothing compared to General Tire safety and your peace of mind. Because in the new General Squeegee, you get quick, straight line, action, traction stopping, greater stability, extra strength, and more mileage than any General Tire ever built in the past.
Yes, Mike Wallace narrated that early in his career. Mike Wallace also did Shy Guy. Mike Wallace also was the voice of Parliament Cigarettes, and then later did 60 Minutes. It would be interesting if Andy Rooney had narrated this this film. But boy, this film delivered in so many regards. Somebody getting killed in a car accident. Just the weird setup of the tests as far as skidding. The blowing up the competitor's tire, overinflating it. And then that framing the guy's face as he's reading lines. He's obviously like, his eyes are moving and he's inside of this rotating tire. It's so good. Holy cow. Those are the things that I aspire to find because they're so insane. It's just like yesterday's film with the orientation and indoctrination of new employees or new workmen. The footage of those crazy visual aid toys of the man lifting, and you saw this articulated spine and just stuff like that. Is the visual, because at any point when making these films, you're trying to engage your audience and get them to go, oh. And so there's always this, we have to come up with some sort of visual aid that will get this point across. And that's what educational films are. It's the same thing. They're trying to use some sort of gimmick to get you to bump out and go, oh, that's important, or oh, that's interesting. And so God love all the gimmicks. And God love all of you. Thank you so much for watching today. I'm about to go and move some more films. We actually had to, because of the work we're doing in the front of the archive, we actually had to move another scanner to my house basement, which will be set up next week. So this house that I'm in is filled with film scanners. There's more film scanners here than people that live here, unless you count the cat. But thank you so much again for donating. Thank you so much for your time. We very much appreciate you. Headlines are not great for me right now, but I appreciate you being there and you supporting us. And yeah, this is really what it's all about, is you guys doing this with you. So everybody have a great weekend. And so next week is going to be kind of weird because I'm going to do more of a push to do films. So I might have to pre-record some, but you know, we'll make it work. There will be films that you'll be watching, guaranteed. Take care, everyone. We'll see you soon. Love you. Bye.